Hello, tribe. Welcome to your new moon in Aries lunar energy report. So before I get on, I always do a little ritual before I do any video, and I do a cleansing. And this is unlike a lot of other cleansings I've done in the past year. How smoldering this is. Usually, by the time I get through my ritual and shoot the video, the smoke is done. And this one is just going and going and going and going. So this is literally how this new moon is going to feel. I was like, this is literally the universe telling me exactly what my horoscope is going to be. Listen, the universe always gives signs and signals. And then also, they're finishing up, hopefully, the construction in the apartment downstairs from us. And of course, I start to hear jackhammering, not jackhammering, but it's like a saw or some kind of grinding noise. I don't know. I'm not good with tools, but I started to hear that as well. I think it's going to wind down for this broadcast, but excuse me if you hear it. But then that also started at the same time too, and that's very Aries energy. So we're going to get into what all of this means. But even before I started the broadcast, the new moon in Aries is coming through strong. Aries is a fire sign, and it's all about burning bright, burning through, burning to the core essence of yourself. And it's ruled by the planet of Mars. Mars rules construction. So interesting. So this is a very Martian new moon. So before I get into the horoscope, of course, I want to encourage all of you to watch your rising sign, your sun, or your moon. You can watch all three. And I'm going to first go over collectively what this new moon in Aries means. And then I'm going to go through each of the 12 zodiac signs. So, rising sign is going to make the most sense to you. That's really how your chart is structured. And so, it really gives you intel into what area of life that the planet is affecting you and the aspects to that planet. That's how we can really do analysis in astrology of the transits. So watch your rising sign. You're going to be like, oh, this makes a lot more sense. And I encourage all of you to definitely check out. I just put out my Saturn in Pisces video, but that video will also give you more intel into like the next couple of years during the Saturn in Pisces transit. So I wanted to announce that in case any of you haven't checked that out yet. I just put that out last week, and I take you through each of the 12 signs. And there also is a collective episode, the latest episode on the Black Moon Lilith Rising podcast. You can listen to how Saturn in Pisces is going to affect everyone. So that's on podcasts as well. So let's get into today's horoscope. This is a spring in our step, I must say. We literally are going to be smoldering. This is like, like when you're about to light a candle and you take a match and you're like, you strike a match. This is what this Aries season and this Aries new moon is going to feel like. Not only are we stepping into the spring equinox, we're springing into spring, but we also are starting a new yearly zodiac cycle. This is also the astrological new year. This is the real new year. This is really how we now can take a look at what do we want to be this year? How are we going to take action? Aries is a sign that is all about our passion, our drive, what drives us, what moves us forward. And we felt very stagnant at the beginning of this year because we had Mercury retrograde, we had Mars retrograde. Pluto is at the last and final degree in the sign of Capricorn, really testing our structure and boundaries that we've set up for ourselves since 2008. So we are on the tail end of that. So a lot of you can feel like you are in a big pressure cooker for change and you felt very stagnant, like probably in January, February, you were like, I feel like change is on the horizon, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And now in March, all of you are experiencing complete life transformations. in the area of life this new moon is happening for you. So this Aries new moon is basically like, it's like a celebration of the new year, essentially. It's like the countdown in Times Square, where this is when you get to zero, when you get to midnight. And now we can jumpstart the year ahead. So this is the chart for the new moon. So a new moon is when the moon and the sun form an exact conjunction. And a conjunction in astrology is essentially where two planets are together in the sky. And we go from 0 to 10 degrees difference between a conjunction of two planets. When it gets wider than that, sometimes it's not as big of an effect. But this specific new moon is huge. It's literally exact 0 degrees. This is like, talk about a spark. Talk about smoldering change and new things, a new spark of life in everyone's life, wherever you have Aries. And I'm going to get into where you have Aries. Literally, this is at 0 degrees. This is like the earliest part of the zodiac that you can be in. And you can really compare this degree to when you are literally being pushed out of the womb, like when you were out of the womb and you are alive and you take that first breath. That's 0 degrees Aries. And so a lot of you are going to feel like this tomorrow onward. And I'm filming this on the 20th, the full moon. Why do I keep calling this a full moon? Well, that's because a lot of things are also going to manifest for the full moon that's following this. We'll get into that next week. But the new moon is really going to be the big catalyst and spark in all of your lives. And this is really where the year begins. You guys are going to feel like your social calendar is filling up more opportunities are coming in, more breakthroughs. You're finally making decisions on certain things. A lot of you are stepping into entirely new lives, moving, changing certain dynamics in a relationship, changing your lifestyle. Just complete 180s are in store on the 21st. So we've got the moon and the sun together at 0 degrees Aries. We are all, this is actually reminding me of the tarot card, the Fool. So let's see if I can find it in the deck. I don't know if any of you know the tarot card, the Fool, but basically it's, I don't know if I can, oh, perfect. Okay, amazing. So I really want you all to see it because I really think that that's what this new moon really embodies for me. So we've got the Fool here. You could literally see the Fool, like some of you may be getting a pet even, but some of you are literally like stepping off into the unknown. Like you can see the Fool jolly, you know, living the best life, listening to music, not a care in the world with a dog following, and then just stepping off. And it's like, it's not like there's danger. It's like you just don't know what's at the bottom of that cliff, and you're really trusting in the universe that the universe will catch you. And a lot of you are embodying that energy during the new moon in Aries. So let's go back to the charts. All right. So we also have Mercury close by. Mercury rules over communication, thought processes. It rules over travel. This is short distance travel and documents, emails, messages, discussions, writing. And so a lot of you are going to have some breakthrough communication during this new moon portal with Mercury close by. We've had Mercury in Pisces. A lot of you have been in your feels and in your head. Excuse the knocking, you guys. This is the construction that I described. So, but this new moon is really like, of course, it's making me lose my train of thought. In New York City, this is why I'm going to Miami next week. That's my life change, you guys. So Mercury, okay. So Mercury is really like clarifying this emotional hermit energy that you've been embodying, a lot of you, since the beginning of this year. And now you are really taking action and knowing your truth and what you want to do and where you want to direct your attention towards. And it's very powerful. this trio here. So not only do we have that connection, but this new moon is also going to be influenced by Jupiter, forming a connection with Chiron in Aries. Jupiter represents growth, prosperity. Chiron is the wounded healer. And so a lot of you are also going to be healing and making decisions towards your healing, towards your personal growth that are best for you. A lot of you are choosing you during this new moon and choosing what you want to do. And I think maybe for some time, a lot of you haven't been able to do that. You haven't felt empowered to do that. And so now this new moon is providing some growth, new positive opportunities, new mindsets, a new place to live, a new place to be, new lifestyle. A lot of you are stepping into that new reality that I mentioned, and it's going to bring you growth and luck. So we also have influencing this new moon. We've got the North Node and Venus in Taurus. This is also telling me that this is going to be a positive time financially. But a lot of you might have some financial challenges before they get better over the week. But some of you may have put some investment into certain things and now you're reaping the rewards of it. I know on a global level, we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius at the end of this week. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I'm going to be doing that video. And that's going to affect the economy, but it's going to transform what we think about our material and money and really taking more of a futuristic or digital standpoint. But I'll not to segue on that. I'll talk about that during that video. But for a lot of you, this can be some financial breakthroughs during this new moon in Aries. And it can feel sudden, but positive. Some of you may already be experiencing those financial breakthroughs since Venus moved into Taurus, especially if you have Taurus placements. You've been feeling lucky and things are getting easier and moving along. And this aspect is also going to affect that positively as well. So with this new moon, we also have a trine to Black Moon Lilith in Leo. So if any of you work in the creative field or you do something that where you can express yourself, a lot of you are going to gain the opportunity to really express yourself creatively and transform what you want to do creatively from the inside out. Some of you can also be doing some inner child healing during this new moon in Aries. Perhaps you didn't accept your own leadership and what you wanted to do, and you were always sacrificing yourself for others. And this could have been inherited during childhood or from your family. And this aspect is going to empower you to really push past that and make decisions that are right for you. So this is a you centric, meaning you, not me, but this is a me centric type of new moon. And a lot of you are going to be making decisions that are right for you and only you, and others will have to deal with it. That is Aries energy where it's like, others are going to just have to deal with it, you know? I'm going to have to move this guy because it is very smoky. And that is going to be your Aries season, guys. Smoke, smoke, smoke. It is time to light that match and make decisions forward. So, of course, now we are going to get into the 12 signs. And I am going to also check out the tarot in addition, so we can even get a more in-depth look into this new moon portal.